You would think with a highly anticipated TV series that we would have a Crash of the Titans involving somebody from Hawkeye, but instead we get Spider-Man. I mean, I like Spider-Man. Don't get it twisted. Because I was just thinking maybe Ronan or Kate Bishop. I know it'd be a double dip, but anyway. So Crash today involves our good friend Sandman. But before we look at him, we're gonna look at Black Suit Spider-Man, one of the handful of Spider-Man, well, Peter Parker derivatives that doesn't use web tiles. All right, so his blue ability is it costs six, but it consists of two parts. So the first part is similar to Iceman, well, four-star Iceman's build a snowman. If if a if an enemy isn't stunned, he stuns the target for one turn, and he does a small amount of damage. And then, uh, if the enemy is stunned, he'll do a little bit stronger of an attack to to varying degrees. Uh, at level 5, I think it's like 15,000 or something like that there. But but it's antiquated for where we're at in the game now. His blue ability, I mean not his blue ability, his green ability. It costs 14. It's stupidly expensive. Automotive artillery. So it does damage to the target. It ignores projectiles, and it stuns a random target. I mean random enemy for some number of turns. I think the max it can go is either 4 turns or something like that there, but I think we have a 3 turn stun. 3 turns, yeah, I think it's a 3 turn stun with the green ability, and then finally his purple ability, which one of the portions we're probably gonna have to contend with. The other one, definitely not. And so the one we're not gonna have to worry about is Spider-Man reducing the strength of any strike tiles because we don't make them with Sandman. But at level 5, he reduces the strength of all strike tiles by 100%. So effectively, the strike tiles pretty much aren't even there. There's just uh, tile decorations, so to speak. But the other portion of the stun is the one we got to deal with. Especially if he fires off his green. Um, if Spider-Man has a enemy that's stunned, it doesn't matter who it could be. It could be anybody, whether it's from whether you use Peggy Carter's stun, or if you use his own stun, or if you use Daredevil stun. Like Spider-Man will go invisible, and as long as as long as a person is stunned on the enemy team, Spider-Man will be invisible for the duration of the stun. So that's the one that we do have to worry about. But granted, since this is a one-on-one fight, um, you know, still he's gonna be taking turns anyway. So then we got old Kane Marco here, the Sandman, and I took way too long explaining Spider-Man. So I'll do a little bit quicker job of explaining Sandman. Sandman's a green, purple, and yellow user. His green ability costs 9, Sandblast. He stuns the target for 2 turns, and he does um, a medium amount of team damage. For mine, it's close to 6,000 damage. So I mean, it'll put a little hurt on 5-star Spider-Man. His purple ability Shifting Sands. This costs 8, and he swaps some number of tiles up on the board. In my case, it's gonna be 14. So swipe some number of tiles on the board, and then he'll transform. Of the ones that he swapped, he'll transform at least 5 of them to basic yellow. All right. So this is it. That's the way he generates his yellow, and then his yellow ability costs 10. Sand Smash. He creates projectiles on the board. Uh, you know, the strength varies and the number of projectiles it creates varies. Now, if you fire out the power again and you have at least 7 or more projectiles on the board, he'll do damage to the target and he'll remove all the projectiles on the board. Alright, so for a lesser equipped Sandman, how do we deal with this fight here? You're going to be boosting green heavy. Boost green heavy and keep Spider-Man stunned for as long as you can. Deny green, deny blue, purple. I mean, you can sort of kind of live with. Can't really go with any of the normal boosts, so we'll go with a neutral team up boost, because again, those milestones aren't gonna claim themselves. And I'll turn on animations real quick. Well, again, we're not gonna miss shadowy acrobatics, because, well, I was into the sacrifice play, match this here, let him make a match of the team up so we can gather blue, but I think the team up is team up down to blue so we can deny blue, but still sets up a match for 4 potentially. Oh, for me. Alright. Again, red I'm perfectly okay with because you can't use red. I have more cascades. I said, I'd have thought this fight here would have been done during Spider-Man Far From Home, but I'll take the match 3 there, because again, Spider-Man can't really do anything with black, and it's not gonna hurt us too much. Alright, gotta deny blue this turn here. So let's go ahead and deny blue. I'm actually curious to see. Yeah, it's a small amount of damage. Well, granted, he isn't boosted to, you know, his maximum champion levels, and now Sandblast will end this fight. Pretty easy, pretty easy. Again, high level Sandman, sure. Any other Sandman, you know, you have to put in a little work. Yes, sir. That is a very good question. Who Tampa Bay is playing? Alright, as we usually do, we're gonna take a look at Sandman a little bit more in depth and maybe come up with a team or two to use them with, though. Oh goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I forgot to mention his affiliations, but I mean, it really don't matter because Sinister Six and villains. Yes, Sinister Six and villains, and again, team affiliations don't really matter in the game too much. But you know, for consistency's sake, I do like to at least give out some flavor text. Um, his green is actually one of the handful of green stuns that's up in on the game. I know Spider-Man, he has a green stun, like that Sandman has a green stun. And for what it does in the the 4-star tier, it's actually somewhat decent. Um, you know, there's like no sense in not having this here at 5 because you know is a you stun the same length of time. Is that you just might have a little bit less damage you're gonna be doing, but yeah, that's pretty much a 5. It's pretty much self-explanatory. You know, chase green, stun the target, boom. His purple ability is one of the handful of abilities that actually generates yellow. I know Kingpin generates yellow with his purple ability, and oh my goodness, Cloak and Dagger whenever they swap dimensions, they'll they'll generate yellow whenever Dagger's out in front. But but what he does, the swapping of non-basic tiles. I mean, well, yeah, non-basic tiles, no, non-yellow basic tiles. I don't know why I said non-basic tiles, but non-yellow basic tiles, and convert them into yellow. I mean, it helps out. I mean, you're probably not going to be using Sandman's yellow too much, but I mean, if you're using Okoye or any other user that happens to need yellow, I mean, this is a decent option to have. And then Sand Smash, I mean, it's here. It's not anything particularly worth writing home about. I mean, say even at level 5, creating more projectiles, getting closer and closer to the threshold, and then dealing more damage. I mean, while that's appealing to me, um, having the ability, to do some sort of swap, that kind of takes a little bit of priority, and then of course, you know, 2-turn stun with team damage. That's always good. Um, I honestly wouldn't pair Sandman up with Beta Ray Bill, believe it or not, because again, while Bill will help generate the blue for the and blue and green for each projectiles that are matched, it's when Sandman fires off his yellow ability that it removes all the projectiles on the board. And like if you're rolling battery building Polaris and you get rid of all the projectiles, like yeah, that's no bueno. Because it's like because Polaris doesn't. Let me see here. Is they are destroy. Is that whenever your team matches or destroys strike attack projectiles, um, Sandman doesn't destroy. He removes. So think more of 5-star Kitty Pride, like in terms of removal. If it's removing the tile, then both Bill and Polaris, they don't get their extra bonuses. So you wouldn't want to pair them up together. And you could do Medusa, but again, that requires you to get all the so they get enough yellow to have the projectiles on the board, and in my case of Medusa, can you really wait 4, 5, 6 turns to get projectiles on the board to match a way to continuously burst health? I know Polaris will help out with the with the multiplication of the projectiles, but again, it's getting 10 in yellow. I mean, Luke Cage is an option, but again, you gotta really rely on the enemy team to fire off powers and all that there, and that's again. So we're trying to do as much as we can with the least amount of effort as we can. At least in my case, anyways. But I mean, if you do want to go with the beta reveal, Polaris and Sandman thing, just as a not really a troll thing, but as a just as a way to output a little bit more damage. I mean, that's fine and dandy, but it's a, you don't want to have all your projectiles on the board removed just because you did some sort of tile destruction. Like, no. Bishop might actually work too. Is that with Sandman, since Bishop creates projectiles on the board, and he'll actually help out with is that with anything whenever he's out in front. If you get enough projectiles on the board, you can keep his blue kind of active, keep his say with the red will be out in front, blah blah blah. Maybe a Kate Pride, she would probably work too. It's like, because again, you want to match projectiles, do damage. She creates projectiles. Though I think her yellow would be much better option than Sandman's yellow. You know, obviously none of the Sinister Six teammates are gonna work well. Is it? You would think that they would, but no. Because Venom, he wants to deal damage and makes enemy projectiles, and his yellow is is better than Sandman's. Uh, 5-star Doc Ock, and even the 3-star version of Doc Ock. They're like this here. It's like, well, we got some tentacle manipulation that we're doing. In the case of 5-star Doc Ock, it's making match fours, and then stunning targets, and then also creating strike tiles and burst healing the team, or in the 3-star version's case, manipulating the board, stunning targets, and creating attack tiles anytime special tiles are on the board. Vulture would actually probably be a good option for the say to help boost out the green a whole lot. Get Vulture airborne. At least you got a somewhat reliable green generator. So there you go. So just use to catch all. Just use Vulture. So yeah, I think that's definitely gonna end it here. And I don't want to spend too long here, but we'll look at who's next in the Crash of the Titans series, and that's Jane Foster Thor. For some, I think I remember now is that when we were using Unworthy Thor. Yeah, I mean Unworthy Captain America faced off against Thor. So now we get one of the older Crash of the Titans fights. Jane Foster Thor versus, I forget, whoever it is she faces off against. So that'll be coming up coming up in a few days. Um, I think we got a puzzle gauntlet coming up soon because new season and all that there, and of course the introduction to Echo that's upcoming, as well as her Welcome to Shield event. So so that'll be next week when we'll be looking at Echo. Hopefully they do her well. If not, hey, they sort of kind of used to disappointment with the with how some characters are. You would expect them to be a little bit more powerful, but instead they're not. And now I'm just rambling along now. Um, so I hope everybody enjoys their Saturday. I hope Sunday. Yesterday was Saturday, and that you all had a healthy Turkey Day, and or if you celebrate something else, like if you're celebrating a birthday or whatever. I think during this past week, you know, belated or happy birthday or whatever the case might be, and I'll get you guys in a few days with something I've been cooking up in the lab. Till then, peace.